He's the one when you're alone and he will come along. He's the one when you're in pain and he will give you joy. Me tell them, Jesus is the only way to live your life ahead. I tell them one, I tell them two, but they don't seem to pay attention. Me tell them one, me tell them two, so me come up with this composition. He's the one when you're alone and he will come along. The thief indeed comes along when you are alone. Sorry, Case Alpha, I was just a songwriter meeting you at, I think it was called Catatumba Suits. I sloped down from Theatre La Bonita and All Saints Cathedral, or maybe it's Christ the King. I always get confused with that. But my crossroads was actually as well at Theatre La Bonita and Catatumba Suits and All Saints Cathedral. He's the one when you're in pain and he will give you joy. I was still sleeping. You still sleeping? You still sleeping? Taylor Swift, Frank Mugisha, and the male walking with Taylor Swift. Facebook photos, and I didn't really post much about that. The same male, Princess Diana, and the same male, a dove smiling to me in 1998, the Bukoto house, turned into, Tugende, the Boda Boda Rackets, turned into as well a headquarters to Gende in Tinda Minister's Village, the Boda Boda Rackets. I don't even use motorcycles. I was just, I guess, made to live in Tinda Kalinabiri. It's now a beautiful place with a giant Great Wall of China, and Bukoto became a motorcycle headquarters, and Jesus is the only way to live your life ahead. Indeed, I was sleeping. I'm not religious, but I was just a songwriter trying to look for some money. And Kampala made a motorcade, and Shilaga Shumba became a Teens Club presenter, and MC Katz and Flavia Tumusime moved away from WBS TV. MC Katz looks like Botswana or Zimbabwe or something, South Africa. And at the end of the day, MC Katz is still running on TV, big on TV. Flavia Tumusime as well, big at NTV. I tried to go to Kampala Serena 2019, and Flavia Tumusime is big on YouTube using the interior designs of Kampala Serena Hotel. So at the end of the day, MC Katz and Flavia Tumusime, who produced Emma Uphill, are the names Emma Komagum alumni, or the late Emma Komagum alumni. Flavia Tumusime and MC Katz, Ania Muzalaka Emma Uphill. Jesus is the only way to live your life ahead. I tell them one, I tell them two, but they don't seem to pay attention. Me tell them one, me tell them two, so me come up with this conversation. This world is a combination, a complication. You see that? I did not want to sound like Sean Paul. As a songwriter, I was adventuring into trying to write for somebody else, and it was success. Maybe my rhymes were flowing. There was Chameleonaire, and there was Sean Paul. Then later on he went silent. Then later on Chameleonaire or Chameleonaire, whatever it is, disappeared off the scene, and I met Case Alpha with a song I wrote in 2006, St. Mary's Chitende. I met him in 2009 or 2008 at Catatumba Suits, and I tried to sell him this song. End of the day, Peter Miles is maybe somebody that became Nespro, the music producer. I mean, you ask yourself, how is it possible Nespro became MTN Producer of the Year? And maybe here at Makinje Mama Nakalansi's kitchen, I've seen somebody dreadlocked and yet taller. KS Alpha's music became better. Turn up the rhythm, this is the rhythm, Sawaya Kutigi, the selector. That's amazing. And in the Katatumba Suits building, KS Alpha was with a songwriter, a renowned songwriter. But you know what? This way he was smiling and looking at me. Who knows? Maybe Azalaka Emma Appeal, and Emma Appeal was walking around as a songwriter. At the end of the day, there was another person in the room. There were 3 people in the room. Now, how does a musician turned IT specialist and a songwriter and somebody else own up a room that is expensive in a building that actually had, Kampala newspapers writing about the Katatumbas or the Katatumba family fighting for ownership of Katatumba suits. It was a row between Ugandans and Pakistanis. I think it was called Shukla. And then Emma gets a Shukla situation on his Facebook. But I'm not rushing into conclusions. I'm just saying there's too much of Katatumba around me that you'd say maybe if I'm brown skinned like this, there's Chirabo, Rita, Katatumba Academy 2004, and she very much must be a pretend brown skinned girl. And lately she walks around as a pretend boy, and she is maybe very much an Indian or Pakistani. So the theory or thought that Indians and Pakistan did not make it to Western Uganda and they are mountains of the moon is just a theory. But did they succeed? No, I think they didn't. I think they succeeded more in Eastern Uganda and Western Kenya and the cities of East Africa. Meaning, at the end of the day, you don't see much of people, like, let's say, that are Indian or Pakistan, or maybe, India to black or Pakistan to black or white to black moving around like that. But at the end of the day, it's more like I was a songwriter and I met KS Alpha. So as I sing out this song, I'm just saying, KS Alpha girl, KS Alpha girl, if you're listening, the song wasn't bad. The song wasn't pathetic. I hope you forgave because KS Alpha is a savage man. At the end of the day, Peter Miles as well is a very playful but savage man. And if Peter Miles is a NES Pro, it means while I was using the Google location of the Russian embassy and the Google location of Shimoni Demonstration School, Peter Miles Kanyike or Peter Kanyike was able to drive after. Why would NES Pro, a music producer, drive after Colonel Felix Kulaije? And a Colonel is, maybe canal knowledge and all that, meaning the AHB bill and all that. I won't explain much into it. A major is, maybe basically me, meaning I couldn't sing for 2 decades and maybe a half. And of course that is true, but let's say I couldn't sing for 2 decades. I was sleeping. You still sleeping? You're still sleeping? A major is the only kind of way I would sing, meaning that I was singing in A major, and A major was like, the flat way I could sing. I couldn't hit high notes. And as I was recording with producer NES Pro, maybe that was Peter Miles laughing like, what? Like what? So at the end of the day, KS Alpha I met and I was able to try to give him a song like this. And before that, I had met Tonix or Alan Tonix. I still love his music till today. Amazing. I don't know if he wrote his music, meaning I'm very careful. But also Akon, the Senegalese, heartthrob, or the Senegalese musician, has been around me in so many ways as Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali must be the one that did the Pepsi Cola halftime with Beyonce. And that Beyonce must be very much Shakira. I'm trying to shout Lucky Me. When they brought 2 goats in this compound and I had to record my podcast called Omusota Tegutu Se, meaning like what? I have to deal with that as well. And I was on 0 shillings, meaning that while you're on 0 shillings, things can severely be, paired and all that. Meaning, sorry, KS Alpha, I did not intend to come to you or come through to you with a gospel song. I was just somebody writing dancehall. I'm not trying to sound like I'm writing like Cherish, the Sean Diddy Combs band, MTV making the band. And I didn't try to sound like Sean Paul. I didn't try to sound like Elephant Man. And Elephant Man has maybe been around me as well as Bob Buana Valentino. So another day, Elephant Man looks as well like an Okumu Santa Woma. Then there's Gerardo Jock. And then there's Guinea-Bissau and the interim president. So many things, so much growth, so many headaches. But I must say that he's the one When you're alone and he will come along, he's the one. When you're in pain and he will give you joy. Me tell them Jesus is the only way to live your life ahead. I tell them one, I tell them two, but they don't seem to pay attention. Me tell them one, me tell them two, so me come up with this composition. He's the one. When you're alone and he will come along, he's the one. When you're in pain and he will give you joy. Me tell them Jesus is the only way to live your life ahead. I tell them, but they don't seem to pay attention. Me tell them, but to come up with this composition, this world is a combination, a complication, happiness. Anyway, that it's Sean Paul and rah 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 rah. By the end of the day, I had to call out Sean Paul on Instagram, and somebody would say, "What? Listen up, there's a music video she doesn't mind, and I'm the one that actually ends up with a flash disk or memory card, and my flash disk was stolen." And that was Amsterdam Schiphol over here, meaning the Caesar Samuel Watson Mills. But at the same time, Gazaland a slope down from Equatorial Mall. That is a slope down from Watoto Church, formerly called Kampala Pentecostal Churches. Did maybe make me encounter somebody that is known to Sean Paul. I recall the male. He didn't look Ugandan. He maybe looked Papua New Guinea. He maybe looked like one of those countries like Brazil, light skin tone and all that. And at the end of the day, I think that's where a pairing of Sean Paul happened, meaning downtown Kampala sold me my bed cover, and that was Akankwasa, one of the famous Miss Ugandans, or the one that actually did the Miss Universe, where you're like, what? Is that the one that won? I mean, there's so many beautiful girls and all that, things like that. Akankwasa and her father sold Emma a bed cover. I still use the bed cover. Then I had to wash the bed cover. It was losing color, purple color, meaning that Jehovah Witnesses did write an article in the Watchtower about, the whole purple situation. Then the whole purple situation as well goes back to my Insanjaba, meaning that I got a bicycle accident as a young kid, but something made my leg so long, and then something cut my left heel, meaning Achilles claimed his left heel, and then as they kept healing my cutout situation on my left leg, there was a police boss, maybe an Interpol boss today, and there was Ntinda Kalinabidi and maybe Uhuru Kenyatta holding my left hand as he sings "Worship the Lord, in His praises we stand." Meaning at the end of the day, there was too much. So how can I be religious? I am not religious. I was somebody sleeping, looking for a way to earn some money, and with A.D. Dumbampaji, just I walk up the hill from here. Maybe he doesn't really live here, maybe he does. I've never knocked at his gate. I've never written anything negative about him, but I have had something negative to say about bald heads, meaning bald heads are really something. Not now, but maybe later on, as they're trying to wrangle me up to forcefully come back to Africa. But after these 3 years, meaning it's 3 months away to an end of my purgatory, Uganda, I am never honoring any purgatory, even if it means cutting my neck. I am not honoring any purgatory. I was sleeping for 2 decades, and everything purgatory is financial. Everything supernatural is financial. I said that after my first awakening, when I awoke the first sunrise, like in Nicolas Cage's movie, I scratched my face with my left hand. He did that as well. It means legit. Everything is financial. And sorry, Case Alpha, but thank you for your time. You had a great physique. Joshua Rofumio, you drive behind Dr. Ian Clark. How come? You've maybe been somebody as well in the past. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.